Is that
San
a real
Antonio.
possibility in the not too distant future? I mean,
Yeah, of
Texas is
course.
very different. I don't need to tell you than California when it comes to regulation. They don't really have much here in terms of dealing with autonomous, but it's a different story in California.
Yeah, but California's already approved. Waymo's been doing autonomous driving in California for a while.
Right. But do you need a separate approval, or is it somehow?
Yeah. Right now, the approval process is very haphazard and sort of state by state and sometimes city by city.
We were talking to the Secretary of Transportation about that very fact a moment ago. Yeah.
Right. So it's going to be important to have a unified set of national regulations for self-driving cars. Otherwise, you're going to get into this weird situation where if you're driving from Maine to New York, you're going to go through 10 different sets of regulations. Cars are going to behave differently. It's not going to make any sense.
No.
So one set of regulations that, just like there is for highway driving, that's what I think makes sense for the country as a whole. But my prediction is that probably by the end of next year, we'll have probably hundreds of thousands, if not
hundreds of thousands,
if not over 1 million Teslas doing self-driving in the U.S.
Those are not okay. What percentage of those are going to be? Well, not the cybercab. You're just talking about on full self-driving, level 4.
Unsupervised full self-driving,
right.
meaning you do not need to pay attention.
Right. For me, if I own a Tesla and I have the software and the capability of doing it.
Yes.
Right.
But we'll have a model which is kind of like some combination of Uber and Airbnb. So if you're a Tesla owner,
right.
You'll be able to add or subtract your car to the fleet. So just like in Airbnb, you could like rent out your spare bedroom or rent out your house when you're not using it. And the same thing will be available for Tesla owners. So
right.
it's a way for Tesla owners to earn revenue. Instead of having your car sit in the parking lot, your car could be earning money.
You and I talked about that a couple of years ago, which takes me back a bit because, of course, I mean, you remember 2019, you were talking about 2020, the introduction of autonomous, and now you just introduced a fairly somewhat ambitious target. Why do you have the confidence now that in a year, there'll be 1 million available?
Well, by the end of next year, I think.
End of next year.
So it's just more like 18 months.
26, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think I mean, these things happen slowly, but then all at once. Mm-hmm. So, it's Peter Thiel has that book, 0 to 1. Once you have a proof point, once you have it working, then scaling up is, just a matter of time. So once it's working well in Austin, then we'll make sure it works well in other cities. I mean, there are obviously some unique cases like downtown New York, like if you're but that's a highly unusual situation. Most cities in America are like Austin. So
right. Although you can go on full self-driving right now in New York. I mean, you can obviously have to sit there behind the wheel,
yes.
and it'll do it.
Oh yeah, no,
it'll navigate the traffic. I've seen it.
Yes, no, even a Tesla that you buy right now, and the self-driving just costs $99 a month, will give you autonomous driving anywhere in the country right now. The question is, when is it unsupervised?
Right.
Where that's where we want
where you're sitting in the back, so to speak.
Yes, where you're like asleep, and the car, you wake up at your destination.
Yeah.
In order for that to be the case, we want the autonomous car to be much safer than a car driven by a person.